The word of mouth is the biggest publicity that you can get for anything that you do. Losers think like that.
Okay.
People who have not done well, they will want to attribute it to some reason to feel better about it. So what is the success reason of Kashmir Files? Do you think there was no opposition for that? Constantly you use the word that people thought that it was a propaganda.
Today we have someone with us who has created wonders through his films in 2022, Mr. Anupam Kher. Welcome,
Thank you.
sir. So you spoke about the word narrative, and it has its own positive and negative connotation. There were a lot of people, there was a lot of noise with both the films, Kashmir Files and Kartikeya 2, that people were thinking there were narratives being built just to push the film out. Okay, go and watch the film. With Kashmir Files, it was more like a propaganda that was running around. With Kartikeya 2, they're just saying that अरे culture है इसके लिए थोड़ा कृष्णा के साथ है. How do you look at these
You can't tell the audiences that go and see the film because of this. How can that be possible? Losers think like that.
Okay.
People who have not done well, they will want to attribute it to some reason to feel better about it. If it has not worked, it has not worked because maybe the product was not great. And if that has happened, do you think the criticism of any individual or any piece of art has affected anything like that? Do you think it's happened for the first time? Do you think people did not sort of criticize? So what is the success reason of Kashmir Files? Do you think there was no opposition for that? Constantly you use the word that people thought that it was a propaganda. What do critics do? Whether they speak in front of the camera or a piece of paper, they tell you whether you should see this film or not. But do you think people actually listen to that critic? They want to see the film, they want to see the film. Yes, it does affect a certain section of people. But then there is something called word of mouth.
Okay.
Suppose a critic had trashed. There are people who were given 1 star to Kashmir Files. There are people who had given 0 thing. People said this film should not be seen. But when people saw the film, they went out and they said, my God, this is something you have to see. The word of mouth is the biggest publicity that you can get for anything that you do.
But do these things as an actor affect you when there is so much critics?
It does not affect. Failure never affects me. If failure affected me, I would have not done 530 films.
Right.
To me, what Krishna says in Kartikeya 2, Karm kiye ja phal ki ichha mat kar.
Right.
We have to constantly keep doing work. We have to constantly keep on doing it. Failure to me is an event, never a person. It affects me when I have done something very good and it does not do well. Like I was very thrilled when I was working on the film called Accidental Prime Minister. But same people said that, oh, this is a propaganda film. I think over there they succeeded. They wrote trash and they wrote everything, and Anupam Kher is so and so and he's made parody of it. I think it was my biggest tribute to Dr. Manmohan Singh to portray him without making it into a caricature. So criticism is not something which has happened today.
Right.
It has happened with everybody. Do you think that the opposition leaders do not criticize each other? American presidential election happens, then the same party person criticizes the same person. But some people win, some people do not win.
Correct.
And people who do not win have to blame it to the system, have to blame it to do something like that. What else will they do?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my friends. This is Anupam Kher, and you are watching Showsha.